Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on people when they have like these exotic animals as pets because it's something that I never understood, especially when I grew up watching a lot of different like animal documentaries, like when people they have like certain pets and stuff. Like the one lady, she had like a pet monkey. I've seen it seems like it's very common for people to have like pet snakes or they have spiders as a pets and all these other like wild and exotic like animals and stuff or just whatever it is. But it confuses the life out of me because people will literally know the danger of these like exotic animals and they still want them as a pet. Like, forget getting a puppy, forget getting a cat, forget getting, like just any normal pet whatsoever. No, people want to like even a hamster, or a guinea pig or, whatever, like them type of like animals, right? But no, people want to get like the animal that will like rip your face off or snap your arm in half or poison you or whatever. And it's crazy because I'm like, why? The main motivation behind this podcast episode is that I seen this video on Twitter. I'm not going to share it or you can look at that video at your own risk, but I must warn you that the video does contain blood. And it confuses me because it's like you seen how that snake was acting. You should have known that snake wasn't like, oh, I'm just playing around and stuff. No, so the lady, she's opening up like the little like the snake case thing that it was in, right? And the snake is literally looking her in her face, was like it looked like it was going to strike her face. So she goes and puts her hand, dumb move, puts her hand next to the snake. The snake bit like and locked onto her hand, right? Started wrapping itself. And it's crazy because the snake, at first it looked like it was just a small little snake, right? That snake, as the video went on, the snake had got bigger and bigger and bigger to where it was like there should be a length size like thing when it comes to having a snake and stuff. Like, nah, you shouldn't have a snake that's like literally bigger than your arm. Like, nah, bro, that snake, and I know people are gonna be all like, well, there's no such thing as a snake being smaller than a person's arm. Well, then you shouldn't have a snake then. It's plain and simple as that. You should not have no exotic animal like that as a pet, right? So anyways, as the video progresses on, the snake is like wrapping around her arm, right? Got to the point where I think it was more so because of the bite. I don't think it had anything to do with it wrapping itself around her arm. But like the bite was pretty bad because like her hand it was bleeding. Like you think of like all right, for my wrestling fans out there, remember when I think it was that guy Joey Mercury, I think that was that wrestler's name. Let me look it up real quick. Joey Mercury. Yeah, Mercury. And if you guys remember when he had like, or if like for those wrestling fans out there, but if you remember, and there was a time when he was in a ladder match. And I think it was like Jeff Hardy or something. It was either Jeff or Matt Hardy. It was somebody, but he was in a ladder match. And the ladder like came up and just hit him in his nose, like pretty much like has shattered his face and things. But if you guys remember that wrestling match, for my wrestling fans, if you remember that match, remember how badly he was bleeding. That's how that lady's hand was bleeding after that snake had bit her and stuff. So, and the crazy thing about it is that you'll see a video like that, right? You'll see a video like that, and then people turn right back around and just, still tend to a snake or any other exotic. They're like, oh, it was just a little bite. You got to prepare yourself for that type of stuff. No, bro, if I could avoid that at all costs, I guarantee and I promise you, like, I will avoid it. Because, no, bro, it's like having a snake. When you see movies like Anaconda, when you watch all these different documentaries about snakes, when you see how dangerous and angry those things are, like, yeah, you might be able to, like, tame some of them and things, but at the end of the day, I don't think exotic animals like that are meant to be pets. Like when you look at just, and I think that's what it is. It's like, people, they get so fascinated about the facts of like these exotic animals, but they don't realize the danger that comes with these exotic animals. Like there was the one story where the lady, she had a pet monkey. I can't remember what type of monkey it was, but overall it was a pet monkey. And it was of size. It was a pretty big. It wasn't like one of them little small ones that you can like, because there is this one guy where he has like a small like pet monkey and things. And I remember there was this guy on TikTok, and he always would do these videos of like the monkey doing these unboxing videos of like toys and all that different stuff, right? That's fine. 100% that is okay. Like that, I feel like, if that monkey, if it really wanted to do some damage, it could and stuff. But I feel like it's one of those things where if it was trying to like kill me, right, I can take it, slam it down on the floor, or like spike it like a football, and then let that monkey know, like, hey, you can't do that. But when it's like something about the size of a 9 or maybe 10.5-year-old child, right? If it's like the size of a almost like teenager and things, no, bruh, like it gets to a point in time where you have to limit your size on pets and things. That's why you don't really, I mean, there's people out there that have like big giant dogs, but look at how how that situation ends up about. They end up on America's Funniest Videos because them dogs then seen another dog and then yanked them from a door. But it's like, still though, and even I know people will probably think like, well, what about like, normal pets, but of a big giant size? I wouldn't even want no big giant dog, but I'm like, I know my thing is this. I want me, a normal sized dog, cat, any of those animals, just something that's like, I know, like, unless I do something to upset this animal, that'll be the only way. But it's like them animals that's just upset, like, from jump. No, bro, you gotta leave those animals alone and stuff. But anyways, getting back to the lady, with the pet monkey and stuff. So I can't remember if it was her or if it was her friend, but one day the monkey just snapped, realized what it was, realized that it was a wild animal, realized that it's not supposed to be this household animal, went off on the, it was either the lady or her friend. One of the others had called like 911. You can hear this monkey like going off in the background, and that's like something that kind of just lingers in your mind and stays with you and stuff. And it's like, man, that is crazy. And yeah, so I think eventually, yeah, the cops, they did show up. The woman's face, I think, was pretty much gone. And then, then they ended up having to put the monkey down and stuff. And I'm like, bro, that's why people, I'm telling you, like, people that have, like, even because I know, like, your normal household animal, like a dog or a cat, can go crazy and wild, and you would have to put it down and stuff. But it's like at least that's more surprising than having something that is wild, and you're literally setting yourself up for failure by having that animal. So, and no, like, there's been times, I'm not even gonna knock that down, where it's like, if you have like a wild dog or something, like a dog that's not meant, like, it needs to go through training. No, like, that's definitely a must. Like, animals, I think all animals need to go through some form of training, whether it's a snake, whether it's a monkey, a dog, a cat. If that animal is crazy and it just hauls off and attacks you for no reason, yeah, it's like, or a random person, because no, there was the one time, this happened actually this year, and there's the situation where I think, and I did talk about this on a podcast episode before, but so anyways, there's this area where I exercise in, right? I exercise in that area all the time. There was at one point I used to jog by this area like every day, and even when there was these like squatters that was living in this house, right? So I remember I did see that like some stuff had went on there before, but I thought it was handled. I thought everything was okay. Little did I know there was still some more activities going on in that house, right? So anyways, there was a day I think I was going up to, I think I was going up there to get me some Red Bulls. And so I'm walking in that, on that street, on that road and stuff. And then so I'm walking on that street. I was like, I'm trying to like remember all the details and stuff. So anyways, I'm walking down the street. I see that the whole area is like taped off, and I'm like, huh. I know what house it is. I'm like, I know exactly what house it is. I'm gonna be surprised if it's any other house, but I guarantee and I promise you it is the house where, yes, the activities that did go down there. It was like, because no, so there was a time prior before where they had like an animal control like car, vehicle, whatever, in front of this house. And so anyways, yeah, then fast forward, to this day. So anyways, I'm seeing the helicopter. I'm seeing, that area taped off. People are crowding up. I couldn't really see anything at that moment, but when I had got home, then that's when it was like I seen what had happened. And yeah, these homeless people had like these two wild dogs. Them dogs had no training whatsoever, and yeah, they ended up attacking and hurting this one woman like horribly bad. Like it was bad to the point where it was like, man, like that lady, it was a blessing that she survived that attack. But yeah, it was two dogs attacked her. Like from what they had said, and I guess like I ain't gonna get into detail like on what the dogs actually like did, but let's just say like a good percentage of that woman's body was badly damaged because of those dogs and stuff. Like they were doing some harm to her and things. So, and that's why I'm like, man, people, like, you guys have to have control, because it's either going to be you or it's going to be a random person that ends up getting attacked. I mean, and they even have it where it's like, I know that it's a fictional TV show, but the one TV show, 911, they had an episode not too long ago. There's a couple episodes that they had on there where a woman, yeah, it was a snake episode and then it was a spider episode. But this, I think, which episode? I think it might have been the snake episode. But anyways, so the woman is, she's like, had like pet snakes and things. Or it was either she had pet snakes or just had one pet snake. But anyways, one of the snakes had wrapped its like body around her neck and was suffocating her. And I guarantee and I promise you that was like a real life story that happened somewhere. I think a lot of the stories from that TV show 911 is like stuff that's actually based off of like real life events. But so anyways, snake wraps its body around her neck, suffocating her. It's stuff like that where I'm like, no, I gotta stab this snake and kill it. I'm like, it's either gonna be me or the snake. I'm like, yeah, if this snake bites me all across my face, then I'm like, I would rather for that than to be, it's like dying and things and scheduling like a 9 o'clock appointment with Jesus and God. I'm like, I'm not ready to go yet. I'm like, so that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna have no snake. But so anyways, so yeah, they ended up getting the snake off of her and stuff, and the woman survived. I think she was upset at the fact that they had to kill the snake, but I'm like, well, what else are they supposed to do? It's crazy when they get that close to like a near-death experience with animals, and they're all like, well, no, you don't have to kill it. Like, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, okay, it was either going to be you or the snake. Like, it's crazy how people can be that careless with their lives. And then the other one where the guy, he had like some pet spiders. And they got loose, and they ended up like attacking the one guy, I guess because he had like a house sitter, and they ended up attacking his house sitter. And I'm like, no, bruh. I'm like, dogs, cats, I'm cool with that type of stuff. But when you're talking on like snakes, an alligator, there's some other crazy animals, a monkey, if it's one of them like small monkeys, yeah, sure, me and it, we can sit down, watch TV and all that stuff. Same with a cat, same with a dog, maybe even a gerbil, a hamster. But when you start talking about tarantulas, a full-blown gorilla, what else? The python or anaconda or a cobra, any of them type of, and even if it's like, because I know people are gonna be all like, well, there's some like nice snakes. There ain't no such thing as a nice snake. There's no such thing as a nice snake. There's a snake that is in control, but it's like, its deeper meaning in life does not mean to be nice. It's a wild animal. A wild animal is never going to be nice. That's like looking at freaking, I'm trying to think of like, that's like looking at I'm trying to like use something, a gang member. I'm pretty sure there are some nice, gang members out there and stuff, people that have turned their lives over, but then that's the thing though, they're no longer a gang member. But I guarantee and I promise you, you look at the most craziest gang of all time, right? You can look at the most craziest gang of all time and you pinpoint out the most craziest gang member in that gang, they're not nice. They might be nice to an extent, but I feel like they're just in control of themselves. But if you let themselves in their natural habitat, they're not gonna be nice. So I'm like, they might be calm, cool, and collected in their natural area and stuff in their natural habitat. But once when invaders start invading like that, you just leave them alone. You just go about your business and stuff. And I'm like, man, people need to understand that more. Wild animals are not meant to be pets. I'm telling you, I guarantee and I promise you, there's going to be a day, because I feel like there'll be somebody that would hear this, right? There's going to be a day where they're all like, they'll hear this and they're like, oh, I'm allowed to have whatever type of animal I want to have. I'm like, all right, cool, chill, it's whatever. And then one day, me and their paths are going to cross, right? They're going to probably have like this crazy catastrophic scar on their body somewhere. It's going to be like this long scar on their arm, right? I'm like, oh, what happened to you? And they were like, oh, yeah, my pet tiger, it scratched me one day. What did you do to it? And it's like, oh, I just went into his area. Then he just randomly scratched me. I'm like, no, you did do that. You did do that. But why? Why would you go into that tiger's area knowing what that thing is capable of? I'm telling you, man, it's like people need to leave these wild animals alone. But anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching in or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to all my 43 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching in or listening, and peace.